Well, hello! Welcome back to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. This is the road to Montebourg, and this is the mission known as Hell in the Hedgerows. Yep. Once again, we are returning to Hedgerow country, and oh boy, I gotta say, I am not missing this. Anyway, here's our map. We've got us a nice long map, kind of divided by a couple of roads. There's a little bit of village right here. There's a road down here, and then it all slopes down into a big creek, and then the objective is on the other side. All I need to do is touch any part of this road back here, and then I win. I can do a ceasefire, and it'll be victory. I'm equipped with 2 companies of glider infantry. I have D Company over here. Their job in the broad strokes is going to be my exploitation force. They're going to be flanking off to the right, cutting through these fields over here, and they're going to head down through these wheat fields, cross the creek, and hit the D510 road down here. They are supported by pre-planned artillery bombardments along this road here and this road here. Specifically, I have 2nd Platoon, whose job is going to be to cut back up here towards this hedgerow over here, bust through whatever gaps they have, flank on all the way down on the right-hand side of the map. And their job is going to be to move past these 2 buildings right here and get out into the open and try to cross the creek all the way down here. They're going to have a very long march of it, so I'm going to have to make sure that however they get along, once they start their march, they're not going to stop. I only have 1 hour to get all the way down to the end, and I would estimate that my travel time from this deployment zone all the way down to the other side of the map is probably on the order of about 35 minutes. I.e., like if I just ordered him to move all the way down to the other end of the map, it would probably take about 30 minutes for him just to walk there. Because as you can see, this map is about almost a kilometer long. Okay, he'd probably get there a little bit faster, but it is raining, the ground is damp. Not to mention the terrain is very restrictive here in the hedgerows. So, 1st Platoon of D Company, that's their associated formation, their job is going to be to get up over the top of this hill, down the other side, through these hedgerows here, and they're going to secure these 2 buildings. That building right there, and this building right here, the one that's all blown up. And the weapons platoon... Oh, no, that's the company HQ. The weapons platoon is going to string itself out this way, and they're going to provide flank security for the movement. Because what I want to do is I want to use 1st Platoon to secure these 2 buildings up here and kind of establish a jump-off position for 2nd Platoon to just go walking right through and then on into the rest of the map. So if D Company is going to be heading off to the right and they're going to flank their way up this side, what is E Company going to do? Well, E Company is going to secure this little town here of Le Goulet. That's going to be their entire job. Secure this town, and then they're going to form up in a company line. Their sector is about this kind of whole side of the map right here, and they're just going to advance online as far as they can, as far as enemy resistance allows. But they're not going to be the primary push. They're basically just there to kind of sweep up the flank and drive any enemy troops we run into in front of them. And to that end, we have 2nd Platoon of E Company. This is a rather low-quality platoon. Or at least the platoon leader is pretty low quality, but they're only regulars, they're not veterans. Their job is going to be to head through this crop field here, get on down, and this big building right here, and this big building right here is their ultimate objective. Because this big building right here, he can see over the top of the hedgerow in front of him. He makes a pretty decent observation and fire position. But this building right here is fairly solid. I mean, he is more like wood-like than concrete-like, but he's a fairly solid building. He's big. I can put lots and lots and lots of weapons in here, all facing out. And if you turn the camera and you look, I mean, this building can really command the surrounding areas in all directions. So that's one thing I want that platoon to do, is to ultimately get down to this building right here, and so the weapons platoon can establish light machine guns, or maybe even heavy machine guns in here, looking out over the map. And then finally, first platoon here, these guys are veterans, +1 motivation. The squad leaders are all regular. Yeah, the squads are all regulars, but the platoon leader's a veteran. He's a +1 veteran. He's very good. So he's going to be on a slightly detached mission, and also he's got the hardest job because he needs to come all the way down here, across this field, into these little buildings right here, out the other side. Okay, and then he's got to make his entrance through these gateways into all this hedgerow crap through here, and then he's going to be responsible for establishing the line on the other side. But that's only after he secures this little building, and I might have to detach a squad to clear out the little outbuildings in this guy right here. But that's planning a bit too far ahead there. I mean, you don't want to script the battle in your head before it begins. But so far, the only moves I've got plotted are putting some guys in some initial positions. I got some light machine gun teams from the weapons platoon and a light mortar going up here. And then I've got the first platoon right here. When you put the camera down to eye level, as you can see, there's this kind of little ridge right in front of them. See how it's blocking the view? Well, all of these slow commands put them into an action spot that can see the hedge on the other side. So we're going to have infantry as well as a medium machine gun and a light mortar all pointing at that hedge, hopefully around about the same time. And that should allow me to overwhelm anybody who's in that hedge and let me send these two squads just on an assault move straight across the field and down to the other end. But it occurs to me, I have absolutely no idea where the enemy is. We're expecting to see, according to the briefing, we're expecting about a platoon strength, maybe 2 platoons of enemy troops up here in this little village of Le Goulet, and then the majority of the enemy defense is down on the Ecauseville Road down here. And I'm assuming they would have troops in this line right here as well, which is why I have my pre-planned artillery set to take out these 2 areas. Mostly it's just going to be harassing fire. My 81mm mortars are targeted on this stretch of road. They're starting immediately with just harassing fire, and then I have 4 guns in a 75mm battery on harassing fire hitting this road after 15 minutes, just to make sure that any enemies that are going to be, I don't need it right away, basically. So they're going to wait 15 full minutes. I don't know how far I'm going to get in 15 minutes, but if I can get to this line right here after 15 minutes, then those 75s impacting over a course of about a 20-minute period would likely be a little bit of a morale booster at least. Visibility, despite the heavy rain, visibility seems rather good. The sky is overcast. Visibility is not limited to any real practical effect. I guess maybe anything over like 400 or 500 meters. But it's kind of hard to judge because the line of sight on this map is so short. The only time we're really going to have some major sightline issues is once we get to the other side of Le Goulet village and get up on this jump-off line, because the ground slopes down towards the creek and then it slopes up on the other side, so we're going to be under enemy observation all the way down to here. And once we're in this hedge, along the sunken road. Then we'll have a brief respite before we come out the other side, and then we're under direct enemy observation and fire all the way down past the creek, which is a rather significant obstacle in itself because it's flanked on both sides by this muddy terrain here. So we're going to have to clear a section of this hedge somehow, whether it be with light mortars or machine guns. And once we've established a pocket of space that we can safely move through, then I'll try crossing the creek. But until then, I'd almost be willing to accept a draw if it means I don't sacrifice my commands. So that's the broad stroke of the plan. I'm going to continue recording this in my regular style. I think I'm going to try turning the icons off while I'm showing video. Just there was a request for me to do that, so I think I'll just make that part of this. I don't know, just let me know if you like it better or worse. Personally, I think leaving the icons on adds a bit to the situational awareness while you're watching, but I guess that's debatable. Other than that, I think there ain't much to do but hit the big red button and let's get started. So, here we are, 10 minutes into battle. On the left, what platoon is that? That's 1st Platoon of E Company. Has managed to get itself into a little bit of a pickle with this lead squad over here. But for the most part, they managed to make it up this open ground into these two buildings. That was their objective. And as of right now, they're currently consolidating in these two buildings. I got first and third squad ready to go. Second squad is busy Oh, they're in second platoon. Where is second platoon? Second platoon's over here. That's what's going on there. They're just flashing. That's why it looks like they're part of them. So, as far as first platoon is concerned, the only step now is to cross the street. We're going to get hard up in this hedgerow right here. And I did spot a German team on the other side. They appear to have a light machine gun in tow. They're right there in that hedgerow. So we're going to get some firepower on them. I've got my machine gun and my mortar close at hand. They should be able to just run up here and get set up without too much trouble. Other than that, in the next 5 minutes, I expect to push up here. We're almost reached our objective line with this first platoon here. So, second platoon is a tiny bit bogged down. There's a damn German with a light machine gun sitting right there in the building. He's the only one left of his squad, and yet for some reason I just can't land a killing shot on him. I've taken out a couple of guys over here, as you can see. We took out a HQ unit over here. There's another unit that was in this building. I think they ran around behind it. And then some of the guys in this building have taken casualties. This guy, his team have taken casualties too, but I don't think I'll be able to knock him out until I can get these guys into the building itself. I tried to move them up with an assault move right to this stone wall, hoping that once they get behind it, they can just shoot them in the face, but that didn't work. So, I don't know. I got more than enough guns over here just pointing into that building, so it's not like we're lacking for firepower. So this is the weapons platoon of E Company. They were being held in reserve back here, but I decided to move them up because this building proved to be a bit of a tough nut to crack. And over here in Dog Company sector, my first platoon had the task of crossing this open field over to here and then cutting across this wheat field down here to the buildings, but they kind of got sucked into the fighting over here at Le Goulet, and I wasn't able to get them away. They got one squad over here who's currently moving up to this hedgerow right here. It's going to leave them in a very poor position to do anything about this building. The other squad got kind of pinned down out here in the open. Now they've moved up behind this hedgerow, and then I'm going to move them out behind this hedgerow right here. They should be able to see into the bottom of the building and shoot into it. And I also brought the weapons platoon up, or at least the light machine gun sections of the weapons platoon. They're adding a little bit of firepower to this because I actually took a couple of casualties in this squad right here. They're split into teams and they're just kind of holding their position. Every time any enemy fire comes from this building, I answer back in kind, and we quickly suppress the enemy, forcing them down, but so far we haven't been able to eliminate them yet. And my mortar team back here also took a casualty. But you know, the tripod-mounted M1919s are handling it pretty well. Or these are the 1917s. Never mind. Big, heavy, water-cooled machine guns. They're handling the building okay, but it's not quite as effective as I thought it was. This building up here that I remember saying, like, yeah, this is a tough building. This actually is. I mean, it's not like your typical wood frame job. Like, where is it? See, this guy's a pretty rigid building right here too. But like these little guys right here, if you shoot the 1917 into this building, the bullets are going to go in one side, they're going to pass right through the building, they're going to go out the other side, and they can kill people like sitting behind it. So, I mean, this is a pretty stout building though. You can see all the ricochets and stuff. I had ricochets landing like as far away as this field over here. So, it's getting a little hairy. Nothing we can't handle though. And way out here on the flank, this is my March platoon, second platoon. Remember, their job was to cut all the way down around behind here, and they're going to head all the way down this side of the map, through this wheat field maybe, or through these two fields over here. But their job is just to head all the way down here. By 81mm mortars, they've been landing quite regularly, kind of marching up and down, although not really, because it's always, you know, even if you put a linear target, it's always random. We've taken a few casualties, I'd say maybe 6 or 7. So far, it's not too bad. I pushed a few enemy teams out of their initial positions, but it looks to me like there's about a platoon of enemies up here. We took out 3 guys right there. I think we might have killed somebody here. I just can't see them. We took out an HQ unit right here, and we've taken out at least maybe 4 or 5 guys between these 2 buildings over here. So it looks like we've accounted for about a full squad. But as usual, you know, even though being the attacker, it's kind of on me to really lose this thing, but so far we seem to be handling ourselves quite well. To come in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to try to consolidate up here on this line right here. I don't know about this side over here, because I might run into enemy teams in these 2 houses or these hedgerows, and we might have to do some work clearing them out. I need to get this platoon back on track. Remember, their objective is this house right here and this house right here. I need to get them through this area so they can just get down the road and secure their objective. Otherwise, this platoon is going to have to do it. But I can't leave those behind. I'm going to have to clear them out, make sure nobody's in them before we continue on. So far, E Company is right on time with their objective. There's a little bit of a hang-up with this tall building here, and the fact that one of my platoons from D Company got sucked in kind of actually helped them get through their objective a little quicker. But as of right now, these freshly consolidated squads, let's see, they're ready to go, they're rested. I mean, these guys they're not fatigued or anything, so I can basically just start moving them up. We got A, B, and C team. They're basically watching down the road. This guy's going to run for it, but that's fine. I'm just going to let him go. Their squad leader, of course, it's always the squad leader that gets killed, ain't it? Anyway, these guys are going to have to... these guys are going to move out. Just like that, no problem. These guys are going to consolidate right here. I wonder if I could move these guys right over here. Or better yet, if I could just put them straight into that building. Because I know there's enemies on the other side. The only problem is I haven't rounded this corner yet, so I don't know if anybody's in it. So I think I'm just going to leave them. I'm going to move them up to a jump off position right about here. And they're going to wait there. Meanwhile, I'm just going to get these guys into this building as quickly as I can. And I'm just going to give them a target command on that guy. Just run in there and shoot him in the face, please. Thank you. If you can, that would be nice. These guys are still completing their movement. I have no idea if anybody's in that barn. And if they are, then this movement is going to be a disaster. But I'm going to put these guys right here. That should give them a nice vantage point. Now he's still medicing up him, but that doesn't mean these guys can't move ahead. We're going to lay down some fire in there. And those guys are just maneuvering their rifle squads, so yeah, looks good to me. So we're going to continue this at a later time, and other than that, hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.